Good morning, everyone. My name is Todd Alsip. I'm your musical guest for this weekend. Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living Los Angeles' online service. Let's get things started with a little joy, shall we? I had a dream so big and loud, I jumped so high, I touched the clouds. Whoa, oh, 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 oh. I stretched my hands up to the sky, we danced with monsters through the night. Whoa, oh, 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 oh. I'm never gonna look back. Whoa, never gonna give it up. No, please don't wake me now. Yeah. This is gonna be the best day of my life, my life. This is gonna be the best day of my life, my life. Yeah. I howled at the moon with friends when then the sun came crashing in. Oh, 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 oh. But all the possibilities, no limits, just epiphanies. Oh, 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 oh. I'm never gonna look back. Whoa, never gonna give it up. Whoa, just don't wake me now. This is gonna be the best day of my life, my life. This is gonna be the best day of my life, my life. I hear it calling outside my window. I feel it in my soul. The stars were burning so bright. The sun was out till midnight. I see we lose control. Ooh, ooh, yeah. Ooh, ooh. This is gonna be the best day of my life, my life. This is gonna be the best day of my life, my life. This is gonna be now, yeah, the best day of my life, my life. Best day of my life, my life.
Yes, it is. And what a wonderful song to start our morning with, Todd.
What a better day to have it be the best day of our
Yeah.
lives.
I would like to have you record that and use it as my alarm ringtone in the mornings.
It's a good one. It's a good
What a
wake
great
up
way to
call,
wake up,
isn't it?
right? So you're voicing, it's gonna be the better day of my life. Ah, 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 ah. Fabulous. Good morning, or good
Good
afternoon
morning.
to you.
Good afternoon. Yes,
Right,
it's
you're joining
1:30
us
here.
from the city of New York on the east coast of the land of the United States of America, and I'm joining us live from Los Angeles, California, on the west coast. So good morning to all that's joining us from our time or that time zone, and if you're joining us from another, hello to you and honor you at whatever part of the day you're at. We have a beautiful service for you today, and Todd is our musician for the day, and he's got great songs chosen to help take us on a journey of connecting to the power within that is the source of all things that we call life. I'm Reverend Dr. Keith Cox, and I'm the spiritual leader here at the Center for Spiritual Living, Los Angeles. And if you're joining us live, you're joining us on April 16th in the year 2023, according to the Gregorian calendar. And so this year is just zipping by, and we're all living life fully and enjoying it and appreciating it and celebrating the opportunity to use our mind to choose to know that it's the best day of our life. So, Todd, I look forward to sharing other songs with you in a bit. And I know you'll continue to carry us on the journey. So I welcome you all into our virtual space as we have our first virtual service after our big in-person service last Sunday for Easter. And I hope that many of you were able to watch that or join it. And if not, know that you can find that on our website at CSL-LA.org. I'm going to put onto the screen some multimedia that will take us through the day as I carry us on this journey of finding our personal self-empowerment through a spiritual awakening. That is indeed our vision statement for our community of supporting individuals finding their personal self-empowerment through a spiritual awakening. Spirit has called you into this realm today so that you and I, each one of us, can open our mind and our heart and our soul to hear something new or anew, to feel something that we haven't felt before, to resonate with the power that exists within us, this infinite, inexhaustible, all creative power called the divine. And so we welcome you into our virtual space, this community known as the Center for Spiritual Living Los Angeles. And we like to open our service on Sunday mornings with the act of namaste. It's a Sanskrit word, meaning that I bow to thee, but its most modern incarnation is the power, that light, the essence of life itself that exists in me. I know and believe and act accordingly that it exists in you. So I take a moment, I meaning each one of us, the I am of the divine, placing our hands in prayer position as we can see in that beautiful being on the screen. Take a deep breath in and exhaling and leaning forward with the act of acknowledgement, just saying together, Namaste. Taking another deep breath in, returning back to an upright position and feeling the energy that's being transferred through us and acknowledged as each and every individual says that to us and for us. Namaste. I welcome you here today. We are a community that has been together for 33 years, I believe it is now. We welcome all races, all religions, all countries of origin, all sexual orientations, all genders, all abilities, for we stand with you literally and metaphorically, honoring the stamp of individuality that Spirit has placed upon each one of us, making us unique and honoring that uniqueness. And being by your side, both physically and with you in heart, no matter what the journey of your life is, knowing that we are indeed all one. And through this oneness, we welcome you in. So please affirm with me, we welcome one and we welcome all. As a community, I said we've been here for 30 plus years, and we come together to primarily focus on the philosophy, faith, and way of life known as the science of mind. This teaching encompasses the ideology that there's only one activity taking place in life. It's a very high idea, and it's considered the activity of the divine. We call it source, the thing itself, also use the word God, and it is that infinite, one, all-encompassing, inexhaustible power. It's the universal principle and presence of all life. And so we get to experience it through our thoughts, our beliefs, our actions, our reactions in life, because it's also considered expressed as the one mind of the divine. Intelligence is its way, and wisdom is its guide. And so we're not only taught to believe, but encouraging ourselves and each other to believe that it's how we show up in life that matters, how we know ourselves to be and act accordingly, how we believe and think and act and react and interact with the thing itself and with each stamp of individuality, each person, each being of life, and how we respond and act to you and honor you. And to know that because it's infinite by nature and not bound by principle, that should we not like what we have been thinking or believing or acting or co-creating, we have before us the opportunity to step into forgiveness, release, and begin again. In other words, so that we can provide a safe space for everyone to find their personal self-empowerment through a spiritual awakening. Remembering that the spiritual awakening piece is equally as vital as the personal self-empowerment. One of the great ways to tap into this awakening of the spirit, the essence of all life that exists within you and within me, within all beings, is to practice a ritual. Some of the rituals that we practice here are meditation, affirmative prayer, and speaking spiritual truth. We have a ritual that we do each and every service called Calling in the Light. We always do some variation of that when we come together. And today is no different, and I'd like for us today to do this using the qualities of the divine that we are each imbued with. Many of you have heard this ritual and heard these qualities before, and I know for myself there are times when they seem a bit rote. Today's an interesting day that's been kind of a wild week since the last time we were together, and I'll share more about that with you later. In the context of this seemingly continual presentation of opportunity from life itself to remember that we have the light of the divine within us, as does all beings of light. Even if they leave this earth, it continues to move with them. I invite you to listen to this ritual today and let it resonate in your heart, in your soul, in your being. And let it be a call to action in life to be the presence of the divine in a new and most wonderful and unique way. Calling in the light. Today we perform this ceremony to promote the universal consciousness of life, which acknowledges that all peoples and all faiths, all sentient beings come from the one great universal presence we call Spirit. The purpose of this ritual is to draw into our gathering this morning a more conscious awareness of our oneness and the qualities that we each possess as complete expressions of the divine. The qualities that we speak of are as follows. The first one is peace. We see this illuminating candle, letting that flame represent peace. It's inherent within us, and in this way we're honoring the inherent divine state of inner calm that exists within each and every one of us, regardless of any chaos unfolding around or within us. The next quality that we honor as we look into the flickering flame of the divine is power. Power is defined as the energy by which everything lives. We acknowledge that in a new way today. Even that power of transformation of those that we love who have moved beyond this plane of action. The third quality is of beauty. In metaphysical terms, it's defined as a personal expression in which high spiritual qualities are made manifest. The fourth quality, as we look into the light, is of joy. It's that inner state that is the impetus to feel the emotion that's excited by the expectancy of good. The fifth quality is light. Obviously, we see the light of the candle flickering in the flames on the screen. We have light in our rooms. I have many of them, as this is set up as a studio, pointing at me, pointing behind me, pointing above me and below me. We light this candle, if you will, for all forms of light, knowing that light as a divine quality is known as the symbol of universal intelligence. The sixth quality that we call in the light for today is life. It's that animating principle of being. It's the inner something that gives life to us and gives us the ability to live the life itself. The next quality is of love. Talked a lot about love this week, and it's so wonderful to experience love in that eros manner, that human, emotional love. To add to that, we look at love as a quality of the divine from a more high-minded spiritual way. The agape love, it's called. It's the self-givingness of the energy of spirit through the desire of life to express itself, to be more of itself. And the way that it gets to do that is through us, those individualized expressions of all there is. We pull all of that together and call this light the healing candle. This morning I ask you to take a moment and think of anyone that you'd like to silently or affirm out loud, wherever you may be, to put these individuals in the light of the healing flame so that they may experience the eternal and everlasting love of the divine. There are two names I'd like to place in here today. One is our beloved Sherry Bazanis, who had some health challenges this week, and she's on the mend and doing great, but it was a wake-up call for all. And to put the family of our beloved Reverend Joan McCall and her husband, David Sheldon. Reverend Joan was a student and practitioner and staff minister here at our center for many years, until she went out on her own. She made her transition this week. And let's hold her in the light of the divine and dedicate this service today to her and all the love that she shared in life and how she celebrated her stamp of individuality and made good on this planet. Today, let's all choose to be the change, to feel the peace, and to look at this prayer as I put it on the screen after that little flub. There we go. It's a Buddhist prayer for peace, and I invite us to hear it in a metaphysical affirmative tone and know that it's true for all that we speak these words. May all beings everywhere plagued with the sufferings of body and mind quickly be freed from their illnesses. May those frightened, I hear it's not on the screen. Let me do that, sorry. I don't know what happened there. Here we go. There we go. The unique journey of life, right? So we'll just breathe into the light, into the energy as we prepare ourselves for this Buddhist prayer for peace again. May all beings everywhere plagued with sufferings of body and mind quickly be freed from their illnesses. May those frightened cease to be afraid, and may those bound be free. May the powerless find power, and may people think of befriending one another. May those who find themselves in trackless, fearful wilderness, the children, the aged, the unprotected, be guarded by beneficial celestials, and may they swiftly attain Buddhahood. In our viewpoint of Buddhahood, it's that moment of spiritual awakening, of a remembrance of who and what we are, and our willingness to shine our light. Todd's going to come onto the screen and take us through the final stage of this ritual called Calling in the Light through song. And as he sings it, feel free to sing along. It's a call and response song, and the parts we'll sing along with are on the screen.
Calling in the light, calling in the light, calling in the light of love. Calling in the light, calling in the light, calling in the light of love. Now this is the part you can sing. I am love, I am peace. In my heart, I am free. I am spirit, I am soul. All together, we are whole. Calling in the light, calling in the light, calling in the light of
thank you, Todd.
Thank you.
Feel your connecting to your power and presence as you were singing that. I can tell you enjoy singing that song. You're quiet.
No, I do. Like, it's a good centering Sunday practice for me too. It's good.
So this next song that you're going to sing for us is by the great Chris Stapleton.
Yeah.
Tell us the title, please.
Starting over.
Right. And it's what we have the opportunity to do each and every moment, every day, every reframe of our thought to start over and to start over and to start over. So please enjoy these beautiful lyrics sung by the beautiful man, Todd Alsop.
Oh, fun. 1 second.
Hey, it's Technology Tuesday showing up on a Sunday.
I know we're having some glitches, but here we go.
That's part of it, right?
Well, the road goes out like a welcome mat to a better place than the one we're in. I ain't got no kind of plans, but I've had all of this town that I can stand. And I got friends out on the coast, all of you. We can jump in the water and see what floats. We've been saving for a rainy day. Let's beat the storm and be on our way. It don't matter to me, wherever we are is where I wanna be. And honey, for once in our lives, let's take our chances and roll the dice. I can be your lucky penny, you can be my four-leaf clover, starting over. This might not be an easy time. There's rivers to cross and hills to climb. Some days we might fall apart, and some nights must feel cold and dark. But nobody wins afraid of losing, and the hard roads are the ones worth choosing. Someday we'll look back and smile and know that it was worth every mile. It don't matter to me, wherever we are is where I wanna be. And honey, for once in our lives, let's take our chances and roll the dice. I can be your lucky penny, you can be my four-leaf clover, starting over. Well, it don't matter to me, wherever we are is where I wanna be. And honey, for once in our lives, let's take our chances and roll the dice. I can't be your lucky penny, you can be my four-leaf clover, starting over. Yes, starting over.
So soothing and uplifting at the same time, right?
I
So
love that song. I'd never covered that song until this week. So,
beautiful. Well, I love him. I love the song. I love the music. I love listening to you sing, and I love him. He's such a unique artist.
well, that was the trifecta then, wasn't it?
Trifecta. Thank you, Todd.
Thank you, Keith.
Thank you. Thank you. So as you can see, I'm throwing on the screen, not throwing, I'm putting on the screen. One of the things is so interesting that I said that because I watch a lot of cooking shows, and every time someone on the show says, so we're going to throw this in the oven, I think you wouldn't throw a cake in the oven, you would place it in the oven. So anyway, I'm not throwing this on the screen, I'm placing on the screen more multimedia because our message today is going to be all quotes from Ernest Holmes. We've done this a long time ago, and I wanted to do it again today after our big extravaganza of a service last Sunday to bring it back to basics and to give ourselves permission just to tune into where we're at on the journey of our own spiritual awakening, both at the macro level of the evolution of our consciousness and of the micro level of just what's going on in our mind on a day-to-day basis and in this very, very, very moment. And I love to play with the quotes from Ernest Holmes, and I'm assuming that you all do too. And Ernest Holmes, just a reminder, is the creator, the founder of the teaching of the science of mind. And I like to play with them for us because we get to read them knowing that we've possibly read them before, but meet them in consciousness where we are in this moment. That's the journey of life, where even if we wanted to approach it from the same place as before, we can't, because our consciousness is ever evolving. It is evolving because at a macro level, the consciousness of life itself is evolving, even though it may feel like at times at a micro, a personal level, that we may be moving backwards. But just know that that's not the case. We are indeed always we're growing. I like to look at it almost like a gravitational pull upwards into a higher consciousness. The first quote is, the great spiritual geniuses, whether it was Moses, Buddha, Plato, Socrates, Christ, or Emerson, have taught to look within to find God. I invite you to let this begin to be a lifestyle call, more than just a call of action, of one to begin to look within more and more and more to find the peace and the power and the solace of the divine that exists as a source, the source to lead us into how we show up in life and how we develop our consciousness of thinking and believing and acting and reacting and interacting and forgiving when that doesn't meet the standards that we have for the development of our consciousness. This week, in working with a client, we were talking about slowing down and stopping and pausing and taking a deep breath in, and then literally turning inward visually and imagining ourselves going to the bottom of our stomach, letting that be a place where we imagine our soul is, and connecting to that soul, that light that's within us, and then allowing the light to rise up within us and let it guide us as to what's before us in life and how to decide. And one of the things that I love about this teaching, when we speak of it and teach it as being infinite and all as interconnected, that each time we do that, we connect to that same place that Emerson and Holmes and Christ and Socrates and Plato and Buddha and Moses went. Not that we're going inside their imaginative journey in their stomach, but we're going to that place, the soul of life, that one mind, that one life, that one energy source that we are all expressing. Holmes goes on to tell us that we should believe that God is the invisible partner in our lives and affirm that divine love goes before us and prepares the way. This triggers in me a memory of one of my great teachers, which many of you knew, Dr. David Walker, who would have had an earthly birthday yesterday on April 15th, who would want to intellectualize this statement because he would tell us it was a bit too flowery. And yet I love the flowery component of it in a way that it encourages you, each and every one of us, to be able to use our imagination to imagine this infinite, inexhaustible creative power in our lives that is indeed invisible and is our partner. And because it's not bound by time or space or geography or even physical boundaries, that of course it goes before us and prepares the way. That's the part he would have deemed too flowery. But if we take the judgment off the language of what that means and understand this was written in the early 1900s and published in 1926, it's using language that we can understand that it indeed is preparing the way. The key for us as evolving metaphysicians is, are we allowing ourselves to walk that pathway that it's preparing for us, or are we letting crapola get in the way through our thinking and our believing and the way that we show up and old ideas and hanging on to the past? It's about letting go of all of that and having the deepest of faith, knowing that it's this power that's not only pulling us forward, as I said earlier, as if it's a gravitational pull to a higher idea, but to trust that as we take it step by step, and sometimes those are even quantum leaps, that this power that's there for us is good, and it's infinite good. The next quote Holmes gives us is this: here and now, we're surrounded by and immersed in an infinite good. Well, how much of this infinite good is ours? All of it. And how much of it may we have to use? As much as we can embody. And it's important for us to understand what that act of embodiment means. I will define it for us as it's the act of tuning into our thinking. Another client this week kept referring to his thinking as stinking thinking. And I thought, well, I know what that means in a very sweet, fun way. But at the same time, how cool is if our thinking that wasn't in alignment with our divine could stink? And we could go, oh, I know what that is. That bad smell, that's me thinking that something isn't good. Me thinking bad things about myself. Me thinking less than life affirming things about others. Boy, what a clue it would be for us to change our thinking. What's important for us to remember is that this good that is being spoken of, which is with an uppercase G, is talking about the opportunities, the divinity, the peace, the power, the beauty, the joy, the light, the life, the love, the wisdom, is all there for us. And we get to experience it relative to the degree that we're willing to express it, to give it, to be it, to embody it, to illuminate it, to emanate it, to express it, and to forgive ourselves and begin anew when we feel like we have not done that in a way that resonates as peace within our being. It's important for us to remember that it begins and ends with our not only perception of ourselves, but the way that we act in accordance to that. To remember that this law of life is responding to us by corresponding. And so once we accept that the good is infinite by nature and it's as ours to the degree that we can comprehend it, then we begin to understand that our role in this creative process, this co-creative process, is to allow it to reveal itself through us, to make itself known in interesting and new and fun ways that we haven't seen before, and once again to immediately tune in when that's not happening and start anew. Holmes tells us to realize that God, this infinite power, is ever present, ever available, to know that all the wisdom and intelligence and power of the universe is right where you are right now. I invite you to take a deep breath in, exhale, connect with what that word means for you, and if it's not healthy, find a different word, God. and just allow yourself the opportunity to open up and believe in a way unlike ever before that it's ever present and ever available. Period. Or semicolon, right? Or is it colon? That it's ever present and ever available. Animating itself as you. So that means it's ever present, ever available as you and I get to experience more of it when we're willing to open up and let it be ever present and available through us in a new way. And then to know that its innate nature of wisdom and intelligence and power is not something we need to draw into our being or our field of awareness, but it's already here. Our role is to let it out, to move those blockages, and if we're not sure what they are, to call them out and say, blockages be gone, and let it rise up and make itself known through us right now. Imagine if we went through life thinking that wisdom alone is taking us everywhere we need to do. Holmes tells us in the next quote, the secret to having it all is believing that you already do. I would add to that, well, not would, I'm adding to that, the secret to having it all is knowing not only do you already do have it all, but to look that the it all isn't an acquirement of anything external. I'm going to say that again. The it all that he speaks of here isn't anything that's external. It's that which is internal. It is the peace and the power, the beauty and the joy and the light and the life and the love and the wisdom of it already exist within us. And if we want to have that manifested in form in our demonstrations in the external in life, then it's important for us to remember what our role is as co-creators, and that is to tend to our thinking, our believing, our actions, our reactions, and interactions with it itself, and to remember that the law is impersonal, it just responds by corresponding. Therefore, all of our thoughts and actions and reactions and interactions should be focused on the qualities that we're imbued with. Sounds complex, but it's actually quite easy. He goes on to tell us that whoever dwells on beauty tends to become beautiful. He's not speaking necessarily about the physical or external beauty. He's speaking about the energy, the quality of beauty. He says there will be grace and charm to expressing itself through that person which no one can fail to recognize and appreciate. That's not because they're looking at them and saying, oh, she's physically beautiful. They're looking at it and saying, wow, what a radiance field of beauty. Beauty as a quality of the divine. Beauty as that personal expression in which the high spiritual qualities are made manifest. So what if we were to take Monday and dwell on beauty, and Tuesday dwell on peace, and Wednesday dwell on power, and Thursday joy, and Friday light, and Saturday life, and Sunday love? Imagine the difference that would take place not only in our own everyday life, but in the life of life itself, because the very vibrational frequencies of that which we're choosing to be dwelling on, if you will, once again is moving from the inner to the outer. It's about changing our perception in life itself. Holmes tells us that the perception of wholeness, believing that there's only one thing, and that we're imbued with these qualities, is the consciousness of healing. It's that creating a state of mind that is creating a shift in consciousness that is tuned into only our divine nature. We know that our physical bodies have an innate sense of healing, of ridding itself of that which is a disease, that which is contrary to its physical perfection. That's the intelligence and wisdom that our physicality has, that is imbued with the animating principle of being that we called life, and is driven by the energy that causes everything to live, which is the power, the quality of the divine. He's telling us that as we continue to perceive and believe that it's all one thing happening and that we're imbued with it, and as we express it, then therefore the act that unfolds is a change in our circumstances and conditions, because our consciousness, the totality of our thinking and believing, is in alignment with our divinity. So therefore the external must match the internal. And when we choose to see the external as already the completed act of the internal, then our internal changes, thus changing the external as well. Okay, that was a lot, wasn't it? But good. So what does that mean? It means for us to remember that all the power of the universe is with us. In a very practical way, we're being told to feel it, to know it, and then to act as though it were true. Act as it's true. Have that show up in our everyday lives and our patterns of thought and our actions in life, how we interact with each other, how we allow our Christ consciousness to show up in life, how we choose to give to others, how we engage in what's called random acts of kindness. And how about we just call them acts of kindness? Why do they have to be random? It's about expressing love. It's about doing those things that are in our discomfort zone. It's about going and being the light of the divine sometimes, and the presence as that light with no narrative required. No narrative required. Just simply being the love. Giving of ourselves. Of allowing ourselves to be in the flow and to trust that the wisdom is there within us, guiding us step by step by step by step by step. He says for us to know this: I must be myself. To others, if you can love me for what I am, we shall be happier. If you cannot, I'll seek to deserve that you should. I must be myself. I will not hide my taste or aversions. Rather, I will trust so that what is deep is holy. He says again, I must be myself. If you can love me for what I am, we shall be happier. If you cannot, I will seek to deserve that you should. In other words, release you and attract that which is. I must be myself. I will not hide my taste or aversions. Rather, I will so trust that what is deep is holy. In his most flowery, prophetic, almost poetic way, Holmes is telling us here to tune into that which makes us unique and that which makes us part of the whole. And to know that as we radiate that, give that, emanate that, we'll attract those into our life that are of an equal vibrational fit. And those that are in our life that are not, we can bless them and let them go. We do this in spiritual mind treatment already with the act of release. It's critical to release that which is no longer serving us, and then to trust, and then trust, and trust that that internal deep energy, that place I spoke of going to our soul, is holy. It's sacred. Why? Because it's that inner light that illuminates from within, giving us opportunity to celebrate who we are and use its power in a way to make a difference for ourselves and indeed for others. One of my favorite quotes of all times: Spirit has placed the stamp of individuality upon itself and called it you. Think about this for a moment. And for many of us, we've heard this many times and many years ago. And think of it as true then and true today. And think of the journey that we've all been on since that first time we've heard it, and be ever so grateful for every step along the way of that journey. Because it provided for us and provides for us the opportunity to start new, just as the Chris Stapleton song tells us. And how wonderful that we get to start new right now, no matter what happened prior to now. Today, right now, let's begin to honor the stamp of individuality that Spirit has placed upon us, making us unique in every way, no matter the state of our physicality, no matter the state of our chronology, no matter the state of anything in the external world. We've been given the gift, A, of Spirit giving us life, and B, getting to be unique. And so let's begin to celebrate that today in a new way for ourselves, as well as to celebrate and honor that in others. That's really what that act of namaste is all about. It's I honor the God in me that honors the God in you. And the uniqueness that is me is honoring and acknowledging that uniqueness that is you. It's about honoring the diverse nature of life, of celebrating it, and then living in accordance with the truth of the power that exists within us, knowing that we're all imbued with the qualities of the divine. We all have the same access to the awakening of truth. We all have the same impersonal law responding to us, which means that gives us freedom and opportunity to live life non-judgmentally. Discerning, yes. Judgmental, no, of ourselves and others. And to celebrate life itself. To know that this law of life is going to respond to us and correspond to it because it's subjective. It's like the soil knows how to take a seed and make a plant from it. It knows whether it's making a tomato or a potato. It knows how to create without knowing what it creates. Today, I invite each and every one of us to be willing to push ourselves onto the edge of co-creation and be willing to believe and desire and imagine things in our life differently, and to remember that this inexhaustible creative source of life itself isn't bound by the past or any precedent of creation. And so today, as we're all opening up to tune into this internal journey of awakening, of honoring the peace and the power and the beauty and the joy and the light and the life and the love and the wisdom that is within us, what would we like to have new in our lives? Maybe something in the external, not judging it, but also could be a state of mind. And the state of mind needs to be it anyway, because the external is a reflection of the state of mind. I affirm for each and every one of us, whatever that may be, it's already in play. Deepak Chopra tells us that inherent within the seed of intention is the fulfillment of its desire. That when the intentions are set, the mechanics of its fulfillment begin in motion immediately. I paraphrase that last quote. But we know what that means. So today let's all agree to begin to use this subjective law in a new way. To choose to radiate in a way that we're attracting only that to us in our life that propagates this infinite good of ours that we've decided to experiment and experience more of. Holmes says negative forces operating in our lives will die a natural death if we practice the habits of being disinterested in them. You go, Ernie Holmes. Those forces of life that we're calling negative, that aren't in alignment with our divine nature, that don't bring us peace, power, beauty, joy, light, life, love, and wisdom, will die a natural death. They'll dissolve back to the creative ethers from which they came if we begin to practice the habit of being disinterested in them. of detaching from them and detaching from the outcome of how that will look when they disappear. A call to action, it is for sure. And then to tune into our spiritual nature in greater and greater and greater ways once we release those forces. He tells us we can no more do without spirituality than we can do without food, shelter, or clothing. Another call to action for us to remember that this is a part of who we are. It's sustenance for our being. And it's important for us to know we don't have to do anything to be spiritual. But there's a lot for us to do to become more tuned in to our spiritual nature. And as awakened metaphysicians, knowing the power of our mind, we know that we have the ability to co-create anything that we desire, that anything is possible within the realm of possibilities, that today can be the day that we can not only use the power in a way to propagate good for ourselves, but to make a difference on this planet. Last week in our Easter service, we spoke of becoming conscious evolutionists, of letting our essence, that divine, that spirit, that is soul that is within us, guide us on our journey of standing up and standing proud and standing true and making a difference. That call is being provided to us by Spirit more than ever today. He goes on to tell us the way to do that is by living a life of love, the self-givingness of Spirit. And to know that this power, love, is within us, can't be destroyed, can be ignored, but it can't be destroyed. And he says, to the extent that we abandon love, we feel as if it has abandoned us. Denying love is our only problem, and embracing it is our only answer. Through the power of love, we can let go of herstory and begin again. For love heals, love forgives, and love makes whole. I trust for each and every one of us, this journey of Ernest today has been one that has sparked for us the fire from heaven within us that he calls true imagination. That we all give ourselves the gift to begin to imagine our lives in new ways, meaning that we use our imagination in a new way to co-create whatever we desire and to tap into those possibilities. He tells us that true imagination is not fanciful daydreaming, it's fire from heaven. And heaven is a state of mind that reflects our divine nature. So you and I today have before us the opportunity to begin to imagine our lives that's fueled and filled with peace and power and beauty and joy and light and life and love and wisdom. And we begin anew and we begin anew and begin anew. And we let the sparks and the embers of the flames that have burned into these embers in our soul begin to rise up and show before us the pathway of the next phase of our life. And to trust and trust and trust and then trust that it's making the way for us. And that way is the opportunity to reflect its divinity. It's in you and it's in me. And so it is. Thank you so very much. Todd's going to come back and sing another song for us about new beginnings and starting anew. He'll be right here with us. See, there he is.
He's here, he's here, he's here. Hi. I'm going to lift things up just a little bit for you guys. And this might even make you want to move a little bit. We'll see. If you want it, take it. I should have said it before. Tried to hide it, fake it. Yeah, I can't pretend anymore. I only want to die tonight, never by the hands of a broken heart. Don't want to kill your light tonight, now that I've become who I really am. The part when I say I don't want it, I'm stronger than I've been before. This is the part when I break free, 'cause I can't resist it no more. This is the part when I say I don't want it, I'm stronger than I've been before. This is the part when I break free, 'cause I can't resist it no more. You were better, deeper, yeah. I was under your spell, like a deadly fever on the highway to hell. I only want a dying light, never by the hands of a broken night. I don't want to kill your light tonight, now that I've become who I really am. This is the part when I say I don't want it, I'm stronger than I've been before. This is the part when I break free, 'cause I can't resist it no more. This is the part when I break, I don't want it, I'm stronger than I've been before. This is the part when I break free, 'cause I can't resist it no more. The thought of your body, I came alive. It was deeper, it was fainter. In my dreams, it felt so right. But I woke up every time. Oh baby, this is the part when I say I don't want it, I'm stronger than I've been before. This is the part when I break free, 'cause I can't resist it no more. This is the part when I say I don't want it, I'm stronger than I've been before. This is the part when I break free, 'cause I can't resist it no more. Yeah. Ooh.
I was up dancing a rave dance.
Just a sensible Sunday morning dance party, you
I
know?
love it. I 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 love it. It's the way to tap it all off and keep us moving and grooving there with your iridescent backdrop. I love it.
Yeah.
So Todd, thank you so much for being here today, joining us from the land of New York City. I know you're on a plane tonight, you said, right?
I'm leaving on a jet plane.
Even on a jet plane headed to Europa to take your George Michael show, right?
I am. Yes, I'm so excited. Yes.
So I don't know, will we see you again before P-Town or?
Do we? I feel like we have a. I think we have a May date. I think we have a May date.
Yeah, I think we do too.
I think we have a date in May, everyone.
Sure we do. So we will see you then in May, and then you head off to Provincetown for the summer, right?
Yeah, and then we'll figure it out. We'll figure out how all that works.
Yeah, we're gonna. I'm sure do stuff with you, and then I know that Yaron's going. We talked about this. Yaron's headed to P-Town. We're gonna do a Yaron and Todd show from P-Town. I love it.
Which will be super fun if we get to do that.
Super fun. Exactly. So.
Yep.
All right. Well, thank you for being here. Know that you're loved and celebrated and acknowledged, and safe travels. And we all hold the best and the highest for you on your journey. And you touch tons of people's lives with your show. So keep spreading your light.
Thank you. Thank you.
A big thank you to all of you for being here today. We have some of you that are new, and if you're here for the first time, know that you're celebrated, honored, and acknowledged for just who you are as you are. We're going to put on the screen right now the options to support our community through conscious giving. And I'd like you to know that all that you give and support as donations through our community is deeply appreciated and acknowledged and put to very good use. The ways to do that are CSL-LA.org is our website. You can click on donate there. You go to the App Store, Central for Spiritual Living Los Angeles, and click on donate there as well. You'll see that tab. By the way, our app is being redone in the next few weeks, which will be really fun and great things happening there, as well as our website's just been updated, so you'll see more information there. Also, if you'd like to mail in a check, you can do so at 1200 North La Brea Avenue, West Hollywood, California, 90038, or my phone number's on the screen if you'd like to call me if you have any questions or would like for me to handle that privately. Once again, all options are on our website, as well as in our weekly e-newsletter that goes out the first part of the week, which you can sign up for on our website if you're not getting that. With that, let's all affirm and know that all that is given is a conscious participation in the flow of good. We give with an open mind and an open heart, knowing that as we consciously share in the good of the universe, this infinite good that is ours to participate in, that it returns to us multiplied abundantly. We let it be, and so it is. Todd's going to take us through our conscious giving song, Love is My Decision.
Love is my decision. It's up to me to give up my heart. Love is my decision. No one else can tell me to start. And once I decide to change my mind, Source will show me how. Love is my decision. It's my decision. Right, yeah, right now. And once I decide to change my mind, Source will show me how. Yeah. Love is my decision. It's my decision. Right here, right now. Yeah.
Thank you, Todd. Safe travels.
Thank you so much, everybody. I'll see you soon.
So a big thank you to all of you who joined us today. If it's your first time, know that once again we welcome you here. And if you're catching us at a later date on our YouTube channel, just know that you are the power of the divine, fully expressed just as you are. That you are the blessing in life, and to share that blessing to the best of your ability. And if you ever need support or guidance, reach out to someone to affirm and know the truth for you. We have spiritual practitioners available for that, and you can access that information through our website, CSL-LA.org. You can find us on all of our social media sites, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, our website, and I'm sure there will be others as well. There are great tools there that you can use to find spiritual mind treatments or past meditations or the services from before. You can find our service from last week. We have a Wednesday morning meditation. It's at 8:30 live, 8:30 a.m. Pacific time, about a 20-minute meditation. You can get that information through Zoom on our website. And then that information is sent out in an email that Wednesday to others. It's an audio file that you can either listen to as a Zoom call or convert it to an MP4 and listen to it on your phone or in your car or whatever. It's a great tool to use in life. Also, we have a new thought for the day that goes out each day as a text at 7:30 in the morning. It's a great way to tune in to the way that you want to live your life for that day, as well as a reference point throughout the day to go back to and ask yourselves, hey, am I still doing this? And without any judgment, answer it and continue forward. So it's been my honor and pleasure to be with us all here today. Thank you once again for being here. I want to say hello to all of you on YouTube Live And know that you are a piece of my heart, as I know that I am a piece of yours. We're going to say goodbye as we close out in a meditation, and following that, if you're on Zoom, you can stay online for a moment. We'll say a brief hello to everyone and go from there. So if you're in a place that's comfortable and safe for you, I invite you to close your eyes. And let's know together that the power and the presence of God is here right now by means of each one of us. We inhale and exhale. And that act is a reminder to us of the reality of the power we're imbued with, the animating principle of being. We use that power to begin to feel gratitude in a new way. I invite each of us to tune in to being grateful for the journey of life, for the power that we're imbued with, to our spiritual teachers for the journey they've been on, which includes Socrates and Plato, Buddha and Jesus, Ernest Holmes, David Walker, Joan McCall, Marion Moon, Lawrence E. Maxwell, Maureen Hoyt, Kennedy Schultz. The list goes on and on. We take all of that which has unfolded on our journey and let it surround our heart. A cocoon and membrane of a higher idea that is allowing us to love in a new way. And while, yes, it's protected, we also allow it to open, to expand and grow and to reach for that which is of a higher vibration while still feeling the safety of the journey. And so today in our service, as chill as it's been, it meets us right where we are in consciousness. And so we feel the vibrations of transformation that's churning within us. Not necessarily calling for great celebrations or jubilations or marching bands or radical transformations. Not that those aren't okay. But the quietude of a shift in our being, of a remembrance of who we are as divine beings making itself known, of an honoring of the energy within us that gives us life and is that which gives us the opportunity to be that stamp of individuality. Good is present. It's infinite, and it's ours for the thinking and believing and giving. And so we let it make itself known to us in a new way. And we celebrate that by saying together, and so it is. Stay conscious and conscientious on your journey and know that you're loved. Until next time, peace out.